just the sound of the music and the lights and the theater and the splendor of this magnificent theater was like the highlight of my whole life, of my young life anyway.
We used to go down to the Fox on Friday. We'd go down for the movies, and we'd go into the dime store, buy Tangy lipstick.
The way that the lobby looks, you're entering a place that is magic, and the audience is preparing to see what you have to do.
To walk in here, it's like, it's like something out of a storybook almost.
It was bigger than life. It was the biggest, with the balconies and with the stage. The stage went on forever. Any routine we had to do could be done on the Fox.
All the big bands played there, and we got to meet everybody that came along, which was very exciting for all of us.
I was awful happy to get. I was happy to get on the stage anywhere. And I was around there, and I played quite a bit. And I came back later and played the Fox. (1928). Janet Gaynor opens the Fox in Street Angel, the first year of the Academy Awards, and wins one. Those were wonderful years. America was peaceful, prosperous, and growing. Spirits were high, and everybody was having fun. Automobiles were the rage. In Detroit, the center of the industry, was a boom town. That's why in 1927, William Fox, president of Fox Films, chose Detroit as the site for his grandest movie palace of all. Among other things, this theater, designed by C. Howard Crane, would have the largest theater organ ever built for a movie house, a 2,000-pound chandelier, and the largest clear-span balcony in the world. In those days, you got a feature movie, chorus girls, a house orchestra, and popular vaudeville acts, all for 35 cents.
Virginia, Georgia, and Caroline.
Then the bubble burst. When the Fox was just 1 year old, the stock market crashed.
The lights are burning bright along Playhouse Square. The magic of the movies is in the air.
Yes, believe it or not, this is Euclid Avenue. By the 1920s, all the most elegant shops, restaurants, and over a dozen theaters lined Cleveland streets, among them the Lowe's State. It opened in 1921, featuring movies and live stage shows, and boasted of having the world's longest lobbies, serving a single theater. Right next door was the Ohio, opening a week after the State as a legitimate theater. The following year, the curtain rose on the most glorious vaudeville stage of them all, B.F. Keith's Palace.
Oh, the Palace was gorgeous. It was simply divine.
Other than playing the Palace in New York City, if you didn't play the Palace in Cleveland, then you weren't playing the big time.
When you had played the Palace, you knew that you were made.
There wouldn't have been any Playhouse Square without Ray Shepardson. There wouldn't have been any theaters without Ray Shepardson.
In 1970, Ray worked for the Board of Education seeking out meeting spots for teachers when he happened upon 3 theaters, all closed, neglected, and vandalized, but all still holding the spirit of grander times.
It was like a discovery, and I thought I just had to point it out, and then people would just automatically want to save them.
But it really wasn't quite that easy. He did gather a fistful of concerned Clevelanders to form the Playhouse Square Association. And he did convince hundreds of volunteers to help spruce up the dingy theater. But support and funding for the project were still lacking.
People didn't think it was possible. They didn't think it could work.
Then the bombshell hit. In May of 1972, the owners of the Lowe's State in Ohio decided to tear down the building for a parking lot.
I was locked out of the buildings. I was sneaking around, illegally entering the buildings, fixing the roof while they were doing demolition studies. It was that close. It really was that close.
A snag in the owner's parking lot design allowed just enough time to get the word out.
The main thing was the banner headline. That got the Junior League involved, and they came up with cash. They came up with $25,000 cash, and the building owners gave us the buildings on a lease.
Charged with victory, the Playhouse Square Association spent the next few years proving that Clevelanders would return downtown for entertainment, even if it meant giving away tickets for free.
If you give somebody something for free and show them how appealing a place is, they'll come back.
By the end of 1977, the curtain almost fell over Playhouse Square again. The 5-year lease on the Lowe's was up, but this time the county commissioners stepped in and bought the building.
The act of the county buying them, that was when I finally knew they were saved.
Shortly afterward, Ray Shepardson moved on, lending his knack for renovation and love for the old movie palaces to other theaters like this one, the fabulous Fox in St. Louis.
Hey, hi, this is Bob the Fox Hope with the Tellerettes, inviting you to join us this fall at the Fabulous Fox. I've got a great new show for you with my special guest, Connie Stevens, and we'll be followed by the amazing Doug Henning. Then there's Eddie Arnold with the Lennon Sisters, and that other lady's choice, Tom Jones. Call now and get one show free when you purchase 3. It's a fabulous deal on a fabulous fall at the Fabulous Fox. My regular work, it's a curse.
This is the Fox Theater in St. Louis, where audiences are welcoming the Oak Ridge Boys, ladies and gentlemen. Hey!
We're here in a brand new home this week where country comes home in St. Louis. This is an old theater that years ago was used for vaudeville. Recently, the Fox has been through a complete restoration. Over $4 million has been spent here to restore it to its natural condition. In fact, it's so beautiful, it's almost breathtaking.
We put together a package with the immense cooperation of representatives from the city of Chicago. Elizabeth Hollander, the Commissioner of Planning, and Lucille Dobbins, her deputy, and others. And in conjunction, and in a very interesting example of public-private cooperation, we devised a very sophisticated way in which to put together the $26 million that was needed to first buy the property and then to renovate it.
Work on the restoration of the Chicago Theater requires special skills and dedication.
O'Neill Construction, I think, has done a heroic job. Large construction companies are notoriously awful at these kinds of jobs because they're so personal and so specific. Having never done a theater, I think the sensitivity with which they selected their subs and was sensational. And the quality of craftsmanship, they went all out getting the best carpenters, the best carpet layers, the best electricians, the best painters.
The Chicago Theater has been renovated.